Hi everyone, in today's Watch Me Work video, we are going to be removing this a week-old nail polish. This was Essie. I'm gonna link the other video below. And today we're gonna be doing something very natural. So Dior Base Coat Apricot, and I'm gonna use Nail Glow, my favorite combination. It's beautiful. And we're going to be doing manicure. We're gonna be shortening these nails. And yeah, that's it. So first, I'm going to use something different. OPI Pro Spa Spray. So this is a ceramide spray. So I had a client wash her hands. I'm just going to spray this with some moisture. As a treat. This is going to be a luxurious manicure. Okay. And we're going to remove this. And I'm going to show you how to remove this really well without making a mess, because these red colors are normally quite difficult to remove. So I'm going to, I use pure acetone, saturate this quite well and just press down. When you're doing this on yourself, I would suggest doing one hand, waiting a second for this to kind of work into your nail polish, and then do the other hand. But because I'm doing it, I'm gonna do both hands. Press down. And when I'm pressing down on the side so it really gets to kind of stick to the whole surface of the nail. Not just like this lightly, like this. And acetone is drying, so you will see like the white kind of, but that's normal and it's very temporary. I probably should be using gloves, but I'm not. Okay, make sure it sticks. And now we're gonna go back to the first one and just press down and away. Look at this magic. This changed my life, this method. Press down and away. If there is anything left, don't worry about it, just leave it. I'm gonna go back for it. Because once you start squeezing this saturated with red nail polish pad, you're gonna deposit all that mess into the skin around the nail. Sometimes you can turn it around and clean it, so this is great. Sometimes again, around. I'm gonna grab a clean one, press down and away. There you go. And now again with a clean one, I'm gonna go back and clean the rest. And I'm going to be doing dry manicure. And I had someone ask me, why do I like dry manicures? And I like them because I can see better. When the skin is saturated with water, you can't really see which area is need to be removed. You can't really see the cuticle as well. So I prefer to do it this way. Also, when you're not introducing water into the nail, the polish stays better. And also when I'm polishing the nails, I can see better because I can see the borders, and especially when there is no cream, no oil, I can do a much better job. And yes, cream and oils are great, but you have to remove them before you're applying the polish anyway, so I just don't do that part. I can see there's something here. And I just wait with the oil and cream until the end of the manicure. All right, so we're gonna shorten these nails. And I'm putting on my Nova Flare. So I'm going to use a probably, file to save my poor shoulders. So I'm going to kind of, so this is just for shortening. This is not for shaping the nail. So I pull back the skin and shorten this way. You see this little hard piece? I get it. gonna shape them. I'm just looking to see if there's a crack in this nail. No. Okay, good. All right, so now we're going to shape them. And this is Erica file. It's a medium one. I use these files quite a lot, so if you're just buying these files for yourself, you can buy a fine one. I find the textured one fine is the best, but for the salon I like using the medium ones. Okay, like this or shorter? Tak? Okay. See all four of them to kind of compare them. Okay, one looks good. Filing back and forth is not a bad thing. It just depends. What really makes a difference is the kind of grit that you're using. So harsher grits are going to leave the ends a little bit uneven and rough. So what I do at the end of the manicure, I go over that area with the fine buffer block. So I'm going to smooth it out. This doesn't feel quite very harsh, but just to smooth out the edges, the buffer is really good. Yeah, but filing back and forth does not tear the nail plate. There was I believe it's a video that Doug Schoen did about the filing back and forth, which I do have it in the description box, so you can check it out. He was saying he looked under microscope and doesn't see any difference between filing one direction or both directions, so it's more kind of a old wives' tale. Okay, checking the shape again. Very good. When client's hand is getting a little stiff, I don't forcefully pull it down. What I do is I actually lighten the grip, and then the client realizes that they're pulling their finger, because what happens is when you start holding too tight, the client does the opposite and starts holding it even tighter. So the best thing to do is just kind of to loosen the grip, and this way it really helps. Because very often people just want to see what we're doing, or they're trying to help. So now I'm just going to push back. I'm going to push back the proximal nail fold, which is a living skin, very, very gently. See, I'm not using this stick this way. I'm using it sideways, and that exposes the cuticle. So you're like almost pulling away, out of the way, the proximal nail fold, which exposes the cuticle. And the cuticle we're going to remove, but we're not going to cut the proximal nail fold because it's a living skin. And yes, now it looks white and dry because I just removed this with acetone, but once you wash your hands, that skin looks much better, and especially if the client uses nail oil, it really helps. It keeps that skin flexible, so it bounces back nicely. And when you push this skin back on a regular basis, it doesn't grow with the nail, because when it's stuck to the nail, it keeps growing with the nail. So then what a lot of people do, they just cut it, but that's not the solution. The solution is to just push it back gently, and it's going to shrink back. You see, like we did this had more of a skin in the beginning a few weeks ago. Now it's looking much better. Okay, so I'm just going to use the fine sanding band just for the edges a little bit, because I already have it on my e-file. Again, this is a soft sanding band, and I'm not trying to remove the dry skin. I'm just trying to smooth and exfoliate a little bit, because dry skin or damaged skin cannot be fixed by filing it. When you think about it, if you have dry skin on your face, you're gonna protect it, right? You're gonna use creams, you're gonna use sunscreens, you're gonna use masks, everything to protect that skin. You're not gonna take a sandpaper and file the dryness away, because initially that looks good or better, but the next day it looks even worse because you didn't fix the issue, you kind of just covered it up. And filing, especially excessively, leads to inflammation, which is not good for the skin at all. So this is just to kind of smooth it and freshen it up. It's okay for that skin to still look a little dry, because it is dry. Gentle is better. Okay, now I'm using medium on the minimum speed. And I'm going to bevel the free edge, remove the skirt, it's called a skirt, nail skirt, and then I'm going to remove the cuticle. You can see that there's not a lot of dust being produced because there's not a lot of cuticle. That's it. This has to be done very, very gently, because we don't want to file the nail. We just want to grab the cuticle, and that's it. Obviously, if you don't have this tool, because not too many people have it, this is quite expensive, and you don't have to have it for your own nails. I just like using it in the salon. You can definitely use a cuticle remover, and I like Blue Cross, and it does a very good job. You just have to do it on a regular basis. Like once a week, I would suggest doing a manicure, and maybe once every few days, just every couple of days even, to push back that proximal nail fold and use the creams, and that will really help. Also, using just a regular lotion is probably not enough. It's okay throughout the day. So let's say you wash your hands, you put a dab of lotion, that's okay. But at night especially, apply something a little bit more emollient. I suggest using creams that have urea in them and adding the oil. And the oil throughout the day as well. You can just apply tiny amount, rub it into the skin with that lotion, and it makes a world of a difference. And that's how you correct the dry skin. It just takes a little bit of time. It cannot be fixed in one manicure. So don't give up. Just keep doing it. And generally, small changes in life eventually produce amazing results. You don't have to really do a lot in order to have amazing results with manicures. You just have to be consistent with those small changes. I'm going to use a fine buffer block. I'm just going to smooth it because I want it very, very soft. And right now you don't really need to go over the cuticle area because I already did with the electric file, but just to show you, I don't keep it flat, filing the whole surface. I just go over that cuticle area to smooth it out, push back the skin with it a little bit, smooth out the free edge very, very lightly, because we don't want to be removing the layers of the nail. And especially people do that if their nails are ridgy, because they try to remove the ridges, but that seriously weakens the nail, because the first layers of the nail are the most kind of these are the layers that protect the nail plate. So we don't want to remove them because the lower layers of the nails are very spongy and they don't hold nail polish very well. And they're it's very easy to damage the nail. So we don't want to be filing those few first layers of the nail off. So again, less is more. And that's it. And now, prep. So normally at this point people would do the oil and the cream, but the thing is then they have to remove all that stuff from the nail plate anyway. So to me it doesn't make a lot of sense, but you know, whatever works for you. I just find I like this better because I can see better. There was no kind of oil hiding in the corners to kind of obstruct my view. So this is a special prep, but you can use 99% or 96% alcohol, sometimes mixed with a little bit of acetone. Just don't use polish remover because nail polish removers have other like glycerin sometimes or water ingredients. And we don't want, we want the nail plate to be very, very dry and clean before application of the nail polish. So now, Dior Base Coat Apricot, and I'm going to apply it thin. Make sure this is clean. I like this base coat because it has dimethylurea, which is a very gentle hardener. And it dries super quick, has a very nice shine. So you can actually use this in 2 coats on its own. I know it's an expensive product, but I love it for this type of manicure for sure. Fluffy. when I pick up the nail polish, I hold it in my hand to kind of angle it, and I just dip the brush, just the tip of the brush, because then I don't have to clean off the whole brush. It's easier that way too, because you don't want to be over applying these coats. If they're applied too thick, they might bubble, and they will take much longer to dry. So now I have to clean off the brush because it went all the way into the polish. I'll be honest with you, and it's much easier to polish someone else's nails than your own. So if you have a hard time, don't feel bad. I have a hard time polishing my own nails too. All right, so now this one is dry. Nail Glow is still my favorite brightening polish. And why? There are so many of these polishes on the market, but I find the reason why I like it is because it doesn't have like that blue glow. It just has like a pinkish, very light glow. So the nails don't look very weird, because not everybody likes that kind of a fluorescent blue look. It still has it, but it's much lighter, and that glow maintains a little bit better. So some other polishes, I find that they're very blue or purple, but then they fade very quickly. This one has a very gentle glow, and it maintains that glow. The pink, I find it fades a little bit, the pink parts, but the glow maintains, and the nails just look nice and bright. They don't look blue. Because believe it or not a lot of the clients like that blue look. This has to dry. And I've tested, I don't know, probably 10 or 12 different polishes and compared them to Dior. Another thing about this product is that it does not yellow over time, because some of the other products, they tend to, after a while, the actual polish tends to yellow a little bit, and the nails end up looking a little bit dirty. So you have to kind of change the polish more often. I like using this on my toes, for example, in the winter, just so there is something on the nails. And I've had this one on my toes now for like 2-3 weeks. It's still perfectly bright. It hasn't yellowed, which is great. This also dries pretty quickly. I find 2-3 minutes now for this to dry, and then I apply the oil and the cream. So we will be right back. Okay, literally 2 minutes later, they are dry. So I don't have the OPI oil, so I'm going to use the Cuticle oil, which is also very nice. A little drop. And you know what, when you are using oil on yourself, like this is just for the manicure purposes, and also because I used so much, you know, acetone, but throughout the day, you just, 1 drop is enough usually for 5 nails, so you don't have to use as much. Now we're gonna use this treatment cream. This one smells really good. throughout the day, I actually use the CeraVe lotion, and I apply from my both hands this much because I think a lot of people over apply. So for now, I'm going to use a little bit more because we're doing a bit of a massage, but tiny amount for both hands is enough. But every time I wash my hands, I use it. Okay, so this is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped. I hope you like this very simple but beautiful manicure. I do. These are my favorite. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just absolutely love this. Love this look of healthy nails. It's gorgeous. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.